Well, it is the weekend, and it is time to go check in with the West Coast and Michael Snyder and find out what's happening with the movies and his culture blast. Hi there, Michael. What's up?
Hey, Alex. Los Angeles is warm and sunny today. I know things are a little chilly elsewhere in the North American continent, but at least it ain't Pan Am. Yeah, this is one of those weekends where a 2-ton gorilla, are there 2-ton gorillas, of a movie comes out and frightens all the other movies away. We are confronted with The Hunger Games, Mockingjay, Part 1.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like those other Hunger Games movies?
I thought they were pretty good. I thought the second one was like most sequels. It was just more of the same.
I kind of like the second one better, but this is the second and a half movie in the series, which is based on the first part of the third book in the best-selling young adult trilogy, The Hunger Games. Mockingjay, like the other movies and the books, is about the post-apocalyptic totalitarian society in Pan Am, which is a futuristic version of North America. And this, like the other films, has great actors. I mean, mostly, other than its two nominal male leads. Big bucks effects, epic aspirations, but I thought it was turgid, a little talky, somewhat claustrophobic, overlong. And those are all things that I would say are negatives. Heroine and super archer Katniss Everdeen. She's the winner of the Deadly Hunger Games, and she walked away from this bread and circuses system. She's back, and thankfully Jennifer Lawrence is playing her yet again. And Katniss's romantic relationship with the weenie little Peeta, her fellow Hunger Games participant, is kind of at the emotional heart of this, but it's so hard to believe, largely due to actor Josh Hutcherson, who is out of his league next to Lawrence. This guy is not on screen all that much because, if you recall the previous installment, he's been captured by the evil fascists led by President Snow, who is, again, played by a great actor and a guy who is having fun here. Donald Sutherland is one of my favorite things about the series. He's pretty awesome as the villainous Snow. But anyway, these films are Lawrence's worst work as far as I'm concerned, because the scripts are generally so blah. And she's in another sci-fi franchise, the rebooted X-Men films, and she's great, so it isn't sci-fi or epics. Anyhow, she's now part of the rebellion against Snow, and the rebels are led in part by Julianne Moore as the supposedly legitimate President Coin, and Philip Seymour Hoffman. And is this his last movie? I'm not sure, but he's back as Plutarch Heavensbee.
It's actually, I think, his last movie because he didn't finish it. Part of what you're seeing there is CGI.
In part, it is for sure, and I don't know what they're going to do about part 2 of this third installment, but he's in this thing.
Well, what's interesting about all of these?
Yeah.
They made part of the second film and these two all at the same time. They were done a couple of years ago. Wow,
amazing. What is cool about this movie is that I didn't fall asleep during it. Anyway, they're underground, and they're in this trashed District 13, which is part of the futuristic kind of ghettoized society. And they're supposed to be inspiring the downtrodden population with these futuristic equivalent of viral videos. Katniss is they call her the Mockingjay. She's going to lead the rebellion. Anyway, these viral videos are being directed by a production crew that includes Natalie Dormer from Game of Thrones, and she's kind of wasted. She's hardly in the film, but she does have a freaky deaky half-shaved hairdo, which I like. I kind of wish this was set in District 9. Remember that South African science fiction film? And that Katniss was fighting the aliens, the insects. That would have been a lot of fun. Anyway, there's one engaging sequence at the end of the film. It's real action, not very well directed, but it sets up part 2. But as for the rest of this, this Hunger Games installment was from hunger. It left me hungering for more. Anyway, it's like Peter Jackson rather, has attempted to kind of overflate The Hobbit, a very slim volume, turning it into 3 or 4 movies, and this reminded me of that. It kind of rambled and vamped, and I kind of wish it was better, but no. Woody Harrelson gives it a jolt of energy as Haymatch, the consultant to the rebels, but the rest of it was. I think I don't know that you're going to like it, frankly, but that's the big movie of the week. I
Well,
did catch up.
I'm not. I'm probably not going to go see it after what you just said. So
Oh,
you know,
you'll watch it on TV at some point. You'll
yeah,
watch it at home. I know you will.
maybe.
The Homesman is actually a pretty good spin on the traditional Western, and it's directed and co-authored by Tommy Lee Jones, who's also in the film. And it's set at the shall we call it the edge of the American frontier. It's still sort of what we call the Midwest at this point. You know, yeah, it's out there on the plains. It's Kansas, and a single woman named Mary B. Cuddy is basically very self-sufficient. She has land, and she's working the land, and she's the tough nut, and she's looking for male companionship to have a kid, and nobody's interested because she's a plain Jane. And she finds in her little community other women have not adapted to the frontier, and in fact they've gone bonkers and they're doing these crazy things. They really have to come back to civilization, and no one in this small community is too happy about the idea, and they draw straws essentially. And this woman ends up having to take these three kind of mental cases back to her civilized part of the country. And Hilary Swank is terrific as Mary B. Cuddy. She's really, really wonderful. And this journey back to Iowa through kind of treacherous lands where the Native Americans lurk and would like to probably screw with these people, with the basic nature, there's natural disasters, and then it's cold, it's brutal, and we go along with her and with a drifter played by Tommy Lee Jones himself, who she kind of corrals to help her on this journey. The women, who are kind of the heart of this thing in a lot of ways, is what with Swank being great. But these other women, Grace Gummer, Miranda Otto, and Sonia Richter play them. They're really creepy and great. They're wonderful. Meryl Streep has a small role in this, and I really thought it was good. And I thought it was beautifully shot. I think the guy, Tommy Lee Jones, is a pretty talented guy on a lot of fronts. I don't know what he's like in real life, but this was good. The Homesman, if you like westerns, I think you're going to like this. There's even a small role played by James Spader. You got John Lithgow in a cameo. Solid work all the way around. I want to wrap up with Citizen 4, which is a documentary done by a director by the name of Laura Poitras, who has made a couple of films since 9/11 about what's been going on in the government or the shadow government.
Well, this thing's been out for a month already.
I know. I finally caught up to it, and I thought it was pretty amazing. Her relationships with people who are similarly shocked, disturbed, or in the middle of the surveillance state led to her communication with Edward Snowden when he was on the run and just about to drop the bomb of the secret documents recounting the surveillance teams in the NSA and their system and what they've been doing. And she's up close and personal with a camera with this guy as everything is happening and as the revelations spiral through the media and turn him into a wanted fugitive type. And so it starts in Hong Kong, and she meets with him a lot, and we see everything unfold basically right next to him as it's all happening. And I thought it was amazing, frankly. Whether you agree with what he did or not, I thought this was a phenomenal opportunity to get up close and personal to something historic, 21st century history happening right in front of us. Citizen 4 was his kind of on the down low handle. And Poitras has, gotten all these awards and whatever. And she co-received the Pulitzer Prize for Public Service this year. And this is just a phenomenal document. Have you seen this movie at all?
No, I haven't had a chance to see it yet. No.
I'm curious to hear you weigh in on it. What's your basic gut reaction to the whole Edward Snowden imbroglio?
Well, I think they should probably capture him, put him in handcuffs, march him to the White House, where he should be given every medal of honor that he could possibly get.
Well, this is a chance to see the guy, even as he preens and sort of basks in the glow of what he's done. There's a certain kind of, he's a gutsy guy. I'll tell you what, as far as I'm concerned, The hair gel sequences just basically burnish his image as a hero. In
yeah, well, I just think he's a great American hero, and everybody should look upon him as that.
Well, Citizen 4. Go out, check it out. Tell me what you think if you get a chance. And as for the listeners, I think it's worth your time. I truly do. It's also very disturbing. It's funny. We're coming up on a film about Alan Turing, and I won't go into details about it. But it's sort of the hey, look what Alan Turing has wrought. That's all I'll say about it.
Yeah.
Because, technology has become our friend and our enemy, as it always. I guess has been in the wrong hands. Great power can be abused. Let's put it that way.
All right.
What do you got? What do you got in TV? Anything interesting?
Nothing.
Aren't you watching anything out there?
Well, I'm watching stuff, but I've talked about it before. So.
Well, I do hear that the film The Fall, the TV series The Fall with Gillian Anderson is coming back, and I'm kind of excited about that. But it's we're heading into the doldrums too. So that's about it at this end.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just tell them where they can find you.
You can check me out at Culture Blaster on Twitter. That's my Twitter handle, and go to the Michael Snyder's Culture Blast page on Facebook, like it, and link to it. So there you go.
Thank you very much, Michael, and we shall see you again, probably not next week because it's Thanksgiving weekend and we're not going to be doing any programming, but we'll see you the week after that. Okay?
Sounds good, buddy.
All right. It's Michael Snyder. Stay tuned. There's more Gabnet programming coming right along.